Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday and welcome to What's New in Neos. It is January 30th. We just had a new release this week. Lots of exciting stuff to show you. So let's get this webinar started. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I appreciate your presence on what I'm sure is a busy Thursday. We'll go ahead and share our screen. And you should see Neos. All right. If you've attended any of these webinars before, thank you for coming back. If you haven't, classic Zoom webinar. We try to move this one pretty quickly. So we've got a lot of cool features to run through. I'm going to move a little fast, but I'm also going to show you where to go to get more information on all of this stuff. So let's start with, as we do every time, clicking that question mark up in the top right corner and heading on over to the support portal. And this is the important thing right here, this what's new. Every time there's something new, it'll come out by itself. But if it doesn't, we'll just give it a click. And this is a rundown of all the information, that we try to share with you regarding your Neo system, including new releases. So we'll click here to go to our What's New page. You are at the webinar, you're at the live version, but this is the written version right here. So you can always come to this website and see everything that you need. And I don't see any questions yet, so I'm going to assume that this is going smoothly so far. So let's scroll down and take a look at our first feature, which is Settlement Interest Calculator. So we have built an interest calculator into the Value tab of Neos so that when you have case expenses or anything else that might accrue interest over the course of the case, you don't have to, whip out your TI-82 or export that information to some other platform in order to do the calculations. You can do it all right within Neos. Super simple. Now, a quick word to those Neos administrators out there. This does create a new value entry. And if you would like a unique value entry for this process, then I would recommend creating one in advance before instructing your users to take advantage of the feature. Very easy to do. Settings, mini directories, and we're going to look for our value codes. And these are all your different value codes in your Neo system. I have already added one specifically for interest, and I have made it a DTF, a due to firm item. So Neos administrators, if you want to set that up, that's easy to do. Go do it. But for the rest of us, let's head to a case. We'll go down to the Value tab. And as you can see, I've got a variety of value entries here, and I've got a handful of case expenses. Now, I can select them one at a time, like that. Or if I want, you can filter or sort the list. So let's say I only want to see value codes, and then I choose value codes of case expense, and then I'm only going to see the case expense, and then I can select them all very easily. So once I have all of the things that I want to calculate interest for selected, I'm going to go to this little 3-dot menu here at the top of the value list. Not the one at the top of the whole section, but just this list, 3 dots. Give it a click, and we've got lots of options. We can move these items to other cases, copy, edit, add transactions, but we want this last one, calculate interest. So we give that a click, and welcome to the new interest calculator. So it's got a couple options here, but it's all really easy. So first, interest rate. So whatever is appropriate in your firm, your jurisdiction, time frame, whatever your scenario is, you can select that interest rate. I've got 5.5% here. And then I've got 2 dates, the start date for the accrual and the end date for the accrual. And it's defaulted to the value creation date, meaning the date that that value item, that case expense was created. We can change it. We can select a case date of the case dates that are filled in. We can select a custom date and select one manually, or if you like, value creation date is what it's going to be most of the time. Then you've got an accrual end date. Same deal. You can make your choices, but it is defaulting to a custom date of today. Now we've got our value code that we created over in our mini directories set for interest, and then the party that this item will be associated with. And then if we want to create an additional DTF option. So that's up to you based on how you're setting up the interest and how you set it up in the mini directory. You can have it be its own DTF or create an additional DTF, whichever you prefer. The little information box here will give you more interest. I'm going to leave this checked for now. So we'll have those two items and we will click calculate interest. So it's going to go through all four items, the start date, apply the interest rate based on the amount of time between then and now. And we have our total and we just one click saved value. Now, I did that very slowly because I was explaining it, but the truth is you can do that whole process in less than a minute. Select your items, calculate interest, make your date or interest choices if you need to, and saved value done. So now I have $14 of interest. Here's a value item and a $14.60 due to firm entry as well. So that is the interest calculator. And just a reminder, these three dots right here, calculate interest, make your choices, save to value. That easy. All right, let's jump to the next one. So we'll go back to our list here. And next up is a new integration, stamps.com. So if you are mailing things out using the United States Postal Service, we are now integrated with stamps.com, allowing you to print your own postage from directly within Neos. The first thing you need to do for the stamps.com integration is to create a stamps.com account. So you will go to stamps.com and sign up there. Probably your firm administrator or your financial person will handle that setup. Give them a credit card, put some money on account for your postage needs. In addition to that, you may want to do the exact same thing we did for the interest, is go back to the value codes and create, if you don't have it already, a postage value code so that you can track your value items for postage. Now, there's two places in which you can print postage from within a case. The first is the party tab. So we go to the party tab, we have the person's address. There's this new print postage button right here. If it is grayed out, it means that you as a user do not have permissions to print postage, because this is a financial thing. So we did put a permission in there. So if your Neos admin wants to utilize this, they can go in and turn that permission on for everybody. Or if not, it will stay grayed out and nobody can spend postage. But I have that permission, so I'm going to give it a click. The first thing it's going to do is show you all the parties in this case, so you can see who you might want to mail something to. And you can pick multiples. If I'm sending out multiple letters or packages, I can do it multiples at once. But we're just going to send something to Frank Castle today. We'll click next, and this is your shipping details screen. So if you had gone to stamps.com and were filling all of this stuff out there, this is what you would see, but now it's built in. 1 second, Jason, I will get to that question. So real quick, for this screen, you can pick what type of package it is. You've got all of the flat rate options, package options, but I'm just going to do a regular old letter, mail date, the weight, what to print on. This is key. So you can literally just print it on a piece of paper and then tape it if you want, but a better way to do it is to print on the actual envelope. Or if you have Avery labels, there's all kinds of options here. Pick what you like. Let's say I'm just going to print it on that classic number 11 envelope. And then you've got options for service type. How are you going to send it? First class, priority, priority express. We'll say first class. There's this cost code ID. This is a mini directory from stamps.com. So if you fill out tracking on that end, you can have a mini directory here for different categories or staff, or however you want to track where the money's going. Then you've got a whole security and insurance window here to make options, select options. So if we want to say we want to set it certified mail, or we want to send it registered mail, and we want return receipts, we can do that. So let's say we're going to do certified mail, and I want a return receipt and an electronic return receipt. Now, I'm selecting both of these to demonstrate something real quick because depending on the choices that you make here, if you click next, you may get this error. Now, this is a generic error that stamps.com sends to us to display to you. And basically, what it means is that something about your selections here are incompatible. In my example, you can't request two different types of return receipts. You have to select one. But if you ever get that error, come back to the screen and figure out, like, if you were trying to send, a big box, a certified mail with like the wrong combination of stuff, you got to follow the USPS rules here. So we have a letter. We're going to print it on an envelope. It's going certified mail, and we're going to get an electronic return receipt. We click next. It's going to tell us how much everything is going to cost. We can even view a sample, which I always recommend. So it's going to show you a sample of what's going to print out. The return address is what's loaded in your stamps.com address account, because they're the ones, sending this information over. So make sure you've got your firm address in that return. If everything looks good, we'll come back here. We will proceed to checkout. Are you sure? Yes, I'm going to spend this $8 because keep in mind, right down here, we actually have our balance. So I can see how much money I have on account. Pay and print. So what it's going to do is it's going to do two things simultaneously. First, it created a PDF and automatically downloaded it for me. Here's my envelope. Going to Frank Castle up in New York, New York, coming from us in Coral Gables, Florida. My postage is right there. You print this onto an envelope, you put whatever you need into it, send it off. You are good to go. So let's close that. The other thing that happened is it automatically created, it didn't, because I didn't set it to do that. I apologize. What it can also do is create value entries for you. So as soon as you send the postage, it will create a value entry under postage in your value tab. Now, Jason asked where you turn it on. So there's two things that you have to do. First is the settings and integrations page. If you haven't checked this out, please do so. It's very cool. It's basically like the app store for Neos. So settings and integrations, and these are all the possible apps, plugins, other platforms that you could tie to your Neo system. So right here is the stamps.com integration setup page. And as you can see, I'm active, and we have the ability to auto create notes. Oh, I didn't show you that. It also created a note when we generated that postage. Auto create value entries with the value code and all of these scenarios here as well. So you go to that integration page, set that all up, and then under settings, and we'll go to my staff profile here real quick. This is the permission. Under special permissions, there is a new. Where did it go? Oh, because it was right at the top of the list. I was too ready to scroll. Stamps.com, right there, enabled or disabled. You can do the same for individual users as well as permission groups. Permission groups always being my recommendation. So you turn on the integration on the integrations page. You allow the permissions for whatever group or individuals that you would like to use it. And then that button is right there for them on the party tab. Can we add? Okay, so Arthur asked about printing onto basically labels. And yes, you do have that option. I would go through the choices, do a couple test runs with the samples that they provide, and make sure that it lines up just how you want. And that way you can attach it to those bubble envelopes that you use. Okay. Okay. So Joanne is asking about getting another type of label added. So yeah, I would try the ones that are there first. And if it doesn't fit, um, send an email to support. And you can do that through the support portal. Or if you like, you can always go to the support portal, and there is an idea center here for submitting suggestions or improvements. And that's what I'm going to get to next. So thank you for the segue here. You can come here and literally submit, like, wouldn't it be cool if Neos did this? And that goes directly to our development team to look at. And with that in mind, that's what the rest of this release is. We call them quality of life enhancements, meaning these are things that customers have requested. Sometimes not big items, sometimes little items like, hey, I use a different type of label. Is it possible to include this? So everything else that I'm going to show you was from that list. These are customer requests that have been rolled out in this release. So we'll start with value filters to subtotals. All right, that might not be self-explanatory. So let's go back to our Frank Castle case and our value tab here. So we have a variety of items, and we've got this great subtotals button, which will literally, one click, it's going to subtotal all the value items and break them down into different categories for you. But let's say, for the sake of argument, you don't want to see all the value items. You've got lots of options here for filters. If you wanted to see specific value codes or value types, you can select those and specify them. But one of the popular requests is based on the party. Because while this is the Frank Castle case, I have two different parties on the value tab here. So what I can do is, instead of everyone, I'm going to select Frank specifically. And you can see it gets rid of Karen's value items. And then we click subtotals. And now it's only Frank's items here. So now the subtotals will respond to which items you have either filtered or selected. So again, we can clear that. We've got them all, but let's say I only want to see, those 5. I select those 5, I click subtotals. Again, the subtotals button, the calculator here, is smart enough to understand what it is you're looking for and do that math for you. All right. Next on the list, multi-recipient advanced search subscriptions. So if you're not using advanced search, you should, because it's awesome. What we're going to do is we're going to go to advanced search here. I'm going to pick one of my previously done. We'll go with Bryan's cases. So this is an advanced search that I built that literally shows all cases where the case type is MVA. The date closed is blank, which means the case is still open. And any staff is Bryan Billig. So these are all the cases that I'm associated with. If you would like to subscribe to this report, meaning instead of logging into Neos, going to advanced search, running the report and looking at it, you can have it emailed to you on a recurring basis. You can do that. So I'm going to subscribe to this report, this search. I can choose what format I want it in. I want it in a nice clean PDF. And then, you pick the schedule. Let's say weekly. I want it every Friday. And sure, at midnight, that works. But what's new is the ability to select more than one email address. So let's say I want it to go to me, but I also want to go to Brooks. Or if I like, I can submit an entire group. So let's say I want that to go to all of the intake staff and save. It will drop in the emails for everybody in that staff group. And now everyone is subscribed to this report, and they will receive it every Friday at midnight in PDF format. So now you have the ability to have multiple people subscribed to a single report. And I'm going to cancel so all of those people don't start getting emails from me at midnight. All right, moving down again. Still in advanced search, though. Primary type records, double click for results. Again, these are big subject headers, but that's why I'm here, to help break this down, what this is for you. So let's switch to something else. Let's go with police. We'll erase all of that. We'll run our search. So what this is these are police entries. And I can add criteria for all this stuff, but this is all of the police entries and cases and intakes across my system. Now, the way it worked before, and this still functions, is if you click on a case number, it will take you to the case. The case is open. I come to the case tab. This is kind of like the generic starting point when opening a case. But now from advanced search, if I am reporting on any type of record, and there's a list of them, I'll show you in a second, I can double click on that specific record. So instead of the case number over here, I'm going to double click on the report number. And what it's going to do is it's going to open the case. But look at this. It took me to the police tab and to this specific report number. So instead of just showing me the list of cases and it's there, but I got to open the case and then go find it, I double click on where I want to go and Neos will take me directly to that spot. So the options for that, they're listed on this page, are case records, counsel, parties, accident info, case docs, check requests, police, and invoices. So you can run advanced search related to any of these items. And then if you want to drill down, you can double click to go specifically to that item. All right. Like I said, each one of these things is small, but these are requests from you guys that will hopefully make your time in Neos just a little bit easier with each one. 1 second. All right. Up next, multi-select topic filter in Notes. So let's go back to Neos. Let's close up a couple things here, clean up, and go back to our Frank Castle case. So in our Frank Castle case, I've got a variety of notes here, right? And just to review real quick, notes can be viewed a variety of ways. So I have 6 notes here, 4 general, 2 value. You can click notes once and you'll see everything on the side pane. You can double click and it will open the full note, and then you can scroll forwards and backwards between them. Or if you want, you can expand all and then just scroll down the list and see all the notes. Now, what the multi-select is referring to is the topic column. Sometimes you want to see specific notes of a certain topic, or you want to see all of the notes except a particular set of topics. So before, this drop down here was single select. So if I went and selected, what do we got? We got posted message. It's only going to show me that one topic's worth of notes. But I also have the ability, let's see. Yeah, there was one, stamps.com. So I can select 2 topics, 3 topics, 5 topics, however many you like. And all of those notes of those particular topics will be displayed, or you can clear the filter and see everything. So multi-select on the notes topics drop down. All right. Next. We're going to keep going. Okay. I dig this one. This is specifically for our users that are using premium texting. So that is an additional service. Neos comes with texting that's kind of text via email, and that's for free. But if you want premium texting, you can reach out to either your customer service rep or a member of our sales team. And that's like a white gloved texting, like you get a firm phone number, the whole spiel for texting. And it really shows beautifully inside the program. But what was happening is everybody who was associated with a case was getting a notification every time a text message came back from a client. So, if you're the lead attorney and you're on every case, ba-bing, 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 instead of notifying the people who are specifically handling that individual case. Now you can customize this. And there are people on this webinar that have requested this. So I'm excited to deliver it to you. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to settings. we're going to go to case types. And this is a Neos, administrator setup scenario. And I'm going to open up my MVA case type here. And it's under labels. So labels is where it's not under labels. It's under, sorry, here we are. Staff general and staff assignments. We'll get to labels in a second. So under case type setups, you build out your staff assignments, meaning, who's in which staff role across all of these types of cases. And the way I have this set up for MVA is the attorney is always me, but then staff position 2 is the paralegal, then the legal assistant, records, bookkeeping, case manager, etc. And then as a case is opened, we can assign specific staff to each of these roles. So all of their checklist items drop in. Y'all are familiar with all of that. What's new is this column right here, receive notifications. So now instead of everybody receiving every notification, I've got it set up so that specifically the paralegal and the case manager on this case receive these notifications. So we're going to limit the scope of those notifications, and that way the list doesn't get overwhelming, and you know that when that bell goes off, it really is something for you and is important and something you should focus on. All right, so now premium texting has the ability to target which staff are notified. Back to the list. We're almost there. Thanks for hanging in with me. We're at 127. We're doing good. Okay. Next up is the staff profile page. So the way that this works is we'll come back to Neos here for a moment, and you'll notice on my screen, I've got this new little person down in the bottom left-hand corner. And what it is a shortcut to my staff profile in Neos. So this is everything about me and, my Microsoft 365 login and email signatures, my staff groups that I'm involved in, my notification settings are all set to Neos only. These can be changed if you're interested. My advanced, this is a big one. Do I want my Office documents to open up in the browser or desktop version? So this is everything about my particular user, and it's right down here. But as you can see, I've also got permissions and, time and billing options. I've got some big stuff going on here. That is because I have full permissions to this area. So if you would like to set up this, staff profile shortcut for your users, there are 2 permissions to deal with here. So let's go back to settings and permission groups. And let's say we'll take a look at case managers. So first and foremost, let's see, because now I'm there. It is. So we have my staff profile. So this refers to this little button right here, and whether or not this group, or if you're working on an individual, has the ability to see this little button. And we can turn that on for them, and now they will all see that button. But if you want to limit them on what they have the ability to modify, you come back to the regular permissions and we'll open up directories. And under here is the staff directory, whether or not they have the ability to view, add, modify, or delete in the staff directory. So I'm going to look at a specific person here. Let's go down to Jennifer. And in Jennifer's permissions, she has access to my staff profile, but she does not have access to the staff directory. So let's open up a new incognito window so I can log in again as Jennifer to my fun training Bryan database. And so with that, and she doesn't have an Office 365 account because she's not a real user. So ignore my errors. She has the link to access her stuff, but when we click it under her profile, you'll notice that she has much fewer options here. She has the ability to create, her personal stuff, time zone, email signature, what have you, modify her notification settings. If she wants to start receiving things via email, she can do that. And she has that option for how she wants to open Office documents, but no permissions, no time and billing, none of that stuff. So it depends on how you want to take advantage of this feature. Give users the ability to modify the simple stuff, close this, and retain the ability for Neos administrators to do the larger level of modification. All right. We're getting towards the bottom here, I promise. So on this page, it does give a breakdown of exactly what's included and exactly which permissions do what. So if you have any questions, come here and check it out or check the knowledge base. All right. Additional configuration options to PDF/Word invoice download. Okay. So this is what I was headed towards earlier. So if you are sending invoices from Neos, you have the ability now to customize those invoices with more fields from your cases. So the way to do that, and let me confirm here. All right. We're going to go to settings and case types. And this is where we're hanging out with labels. So when you set up your case labels, your alt case number, you can give that a different name if you want, like firm number or close number or date of accident. So this is one place where you can set things up. The next is in firm preferences, time and billing. You can put custom invoice text there. So we only accept payment via Target gift card. So that's not true, but we'll save that as a message. We'll go back to Frank Castle, and what we're going to do is create an invoice. We got to go to the value tab in order to do that. Let's, not create it from everything. Let's create it from our 2 attorney fees here. Create invoice. Okay, all of that looks good. And we'll download the invoice in a PDF format. And so now we have these options to include this stuff. And we'll put it all in, all those case numbers, date of incidents, download, and it's going to build it out. And we'll open it up in a new tab. And now, as you can see, it reads our file number, closed number, all of those things that you customized in the settings. And of course, your custom text. We only accept payment via Target gift card. So you have the ability to modify those invoices if you like. All right. What else you got? All right. Now we're getting into the Neos AI stuff. So if you haven't taken advantage of Neos AI, it's so cool. So what are you waiting for? Give it a shot. I think our customer success and sales teams are even offering free trials. So if you want to try it for a little while, see if it works for you, they'll flip that switch for you and let you try it out. So first, increased character limit for document summaries. Easy stuff. Let's go to the Docs tab. I've got a big retainer agreement here, and I've already done all this, so it's set up. But when you upload it, you say, Neos AI, take a look at this document for me. And right here under document details is a summary, a 1-paragraph rundown of what is included in that document. So what we've done is we continually, with every release, expand the size of the document that can be uploaded so that you can get these summaries of bigger and bigger and bigger documents. Next up is the ability to continue a previous Neos AI chat. So if you're not familiar with the AI chat, also very cool. So we're going to click our Neos AI tools, chat with Neos AI. And this is a chat bot that can answer questions about any document in your system. So I got a court order here. I'm going to ask it. It's going to give me a rundown of it. So an overview summary, and then literally a page by page. But I can also ask questions. What was the judge's ruling? It's going to read the whole document, think about it, and give you an answer. The judge denied both the motion to dismiss, and you have your rundown here. Now, what you can do is you can save this chat to notes. So we're going to save that to the notes of the case and start a fresh one. But what I can do now is if I go to the notes, I've got this chat. I can continue the conversation. I've got more questions for you, chatbot. Why were the motions dismissed? And it's going to think about that, and it's going to give me my answer. So the Neos AI chatbot is very, very, very cool. And now you have the ability, you don't have to do it in one shot. You can come back and do more if you like. All right. And that's it. That's the list. 136. We did all right. Let me take a quick look here. Christina asked, what was the second way to print stamps other than through the value tab? And I'm going to correct that, Christina. I apologize. The first one is through the party tab. So on the party tab, you have the print postage button, but from any tab, you can click quick add and print postage. This quick add button, don't sleep on the quick add button. You can access that anywhere in a case, and you can have all of these options. You can create new notes, you can send messages, checklist items, dynamic layouts. All of these options are always right here in the quick add dropdown, no matter where you are in the case. Tammy says, please do this again slowly. Sorry, Tammy, I apologize. I am a little speedy. But if you go to the support portal, the knowledge base has written versions of everything that I've shared with you. And the Learning Hub has video tutorials. So if we go to the Learning Hub and we want to look for stamps.com, it's right there, and you can watch it as slowly and as often as you like. Thank you for your time today. Much, much appreciated. Again, if you would like to review anything that we went over today, it's support portal, what's new, and the January 2025 release. It'll take you right here, and everything that we walked through, you did it with me, but you can come back and see all of this information. Everything that you need to know is here. And obviously the rest of the support portal, I say it every time, but there are so many wonderful tools here. So you've got the written knowledge base. You can submit ideas because we're going to have more of these. So if you have suggestions based on your use of the program or what you've seen today, or just a great new idea, absolutely submit it there. You can also go through and see other people's submissions and say, hey, +1 me on that. That's a good idea. I'd like to see that. We have the Learning Hub with all the videos, and we have Neos University, which is an e-training platform for you and your users. There's 4 different courses: beginner, advanced, administrator, and a specific AI course. It's all free. It's all on demand. All right, so let's call it there. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you guys. Enjoy all the new features, both the big ones and the quality of life ones. And I will see you right back here before you know it for a new Neos release. Thank you so much.